Mm. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with the Critters, where I live stream every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, unless otherwise noted. It's going to be very hard for me to keep him right here. So he loves kisses. This is Noodle. For those that are new, my name is Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We are an international educational center where we teach people all over the world how to understand the science of behavior using applied behavior analysis and working with animals. And you can find out more about what we do on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. And I am extremely multitasking right now. And you can always email me at Laura, Lara, at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. This is Noodle. That's Noodle. He's our 1-year-old foster cockatiel who is turning 1 today. But before we get started, you can find out more about our information about what we do on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. There you will see our online memberships and all of our services, and our upcoming workshops. There you will find our events. We have some dates scheduled. What are you looking at? What do you see? What do you think? So my main goal is going to be trying to keep him occupied and focused. You can also find on our website our blog, which those of you that follow the work we do know that our website got hacked this week, and I sent out an email about it last night and sent an inappropriate blog post. I was in a meeting when I got notification about that. Okay, where are we going and what are you doing? Do you not want your millet today? So today we are celebrating Noodle's 1-year hatch day. I just found out the other day that I am his third home in less than a year. So with that, I just want to say it's always extremely important to do your homework before you get any species of animal. Cockatiels are severely underrated. I'm pulling out everything I have, all of my reinforcers, to keep him here. And I was going to show you some, okay, there we go. Show you some training. But I'll talk about, this is one of his reinforcers. This is why I say, gather your list of reinforcers. Gather your list of because if you're relying on food, you're going to find yourself stuck. Okay, so I will pull out his training stand, which is right here, which those of you that follow the work we do are going to really, this stand is going to become very familiar to you. So cockatiel or Noodle has been with us for 2 months, January, February, March, around 2 months, a little over 2 months. You want to head up there? There you go. Okie dokie. If I want to keep him there, I got to watch. I just got to keep an eye on him because he has learned to fly. And he is flying all over this house. He is going to the center and reminds me of Sam because I call it going to school. When we head in there, and he pretty much at the center, he flies around the center. He knows where to go. He knows where not to go. I don't want him near the big birds. And when my eyes aren't on him, he is in Coco's cage. So like I said, he came here with a behavior issue of sitting on the shoulder and biting earrings. So we started working on that immediately. Since he's been here, we've had a couple of behavior issues. I do have a concern with mirrors. And that the behavior issue started developing out of that. And because he's flying all over the house and all over the center, he has free roam to go where he wants to go, which can cause some. I just got to keep an eye on it. And I just wrote a post. I'm going to put a blog out. You're going to receive a blog, I think, this Tuesday or Wednesday. But I'm getting ready to write another one. We've already posted it in the Parrot Project. Hey, Sheila, um, and Mary and Lisa, and good morning, everybody. I've already made a post about in the Parrot Project on little red flags. I'm going to go into more detail with that, and I will publish that somewhere, whether that's in the magazine for IAATE. I don't know, or if I post it on the blog. But that's more for all animals, not just birds. But those of you that follow the work we do know that we will train any species of animal, right? Noodly doodly. So I wanted to show you some of the training that we've been working on. I'm recording every single step of the way. This is his crate training. He goes back and forth to the center with me almost every day. Want to step up? Good boy. So if you've been watching what we've been posting on our social media, let's come back up there. You see how we worked with the ringtail lemurs on a continuous schedule of reinforcement, and what continuous schedule of reinforcement means. Good. Is every single time you ask a behavior, you deliver a reinforcer, which is the strongest form of reinforcement. And that's why I say really start developing your list of reinforcers. This is how we started. When Noodle came to me, he was not flighted. Now I'm asking him to fly to my finger, but this isn't how I usually ask it. Good. So we started some recall training. When he came here, his wings were clipped. He had pretty much no tail feathers. Look at those beautiful tail feathers coming in. A lot of bird. Oh, he's getting janky. You gonna take off? They need those tail feathers to land. And before I start working with a bird on flying. He's going to take off. I will teach them, I will work with them on landing. And I do that with, now he's going through the kitchen, down the hallway, into the living room. I will work on that with learning how they put on the brakes with their wings. And thank you, Yolande. Their wings and their tail feathers. So when we are teaching something like a crate training, I will teach this long before I need this behavior. Lisa, before they need to go to the vet, before they need to go anywhere. So we started crate training immediately. That wasn't the first thing we started on. I had to identify reinforcers. And as you can tell, the kissing of his beak and his chest, where are you going now? There he goes. That's a highly valued reinforcer. I also, did I write a blog post? Did I send out? I think I sent it out in an email about the opposite of deprivation is satiation. And so many times I see people unknowingly satiate highly valuable reinforcers, meaning they over deliver the reinforcer and there's really no. There he goes. And there he goes. I think he's back in the kitchen. They satiate those reinforcers, such as sitting on the couch with the dog and consistently petting it. Do I want to pet dogs? Absolutely. But I'm going to mix in some learning there. Like if you do a nose target, I will pet you. So that is delivering a reinforcer for a behavior, a requested behavior. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Jonathan. I will see you right after this live stream. Good morning, April, Melissa, Mark. Good morning, everybody. Mary. So I've moved and I live in a subdivision now, and the windows are open, and my neighbors must think I'm hitting on all of them because he sits in the window and does the wolf whistle all the time. So now I did a series of training with Noodle to get him to want to go in the crate, and now I just set down the crate. The cue is seeing the crate, and he will go into it. Some of the other training we've been doing, I was going to show you right here, but he's gone. Is we've done some target training, which means you teach an animal to touch a particular object with a body part. In this example, I'm teaching him to touch his beak to my finger, because then I can use my finger. And I like to use my finger because it's always on me, and I can request the animal to do what I want it to do. So we shape that behavior. What does the behavior look like? I don't want them biting my finger. I just want them touching. And if you've ever trained a cockatiel, they move so quick. So that can be really challenging, but it doesn't have to be. A lot of times when you're training a target such like this, if I want them just to touch it with their top beak, it depends on the angle in which I come in with the target. Something else I have trained him. Oh, this is just identifying more reinforcers. So through working with him and understanding him through training and him understanding me, I have identified that head scratches are a highly valued positive reinforcer. And now I kind of stumbled on it with him, and now I will put it on cue so I can request a behavior, and he also will ask for that. What was I gonna say? Oh, something else I've been doing with him, because I do have a harness for him. We are going to build an aviary for him here at my house and at the center. Um, oh, I need to think, how am I going to get him ready for a harness where I'm pulling at his wings? And if those of you that are in the Parrot Project know that I'm working on this with DC, the Moluccan cockatoo. I know I've been working on it in the advanced level membership with the red ruff lemurs. Um, it doesn't start with the harness. It starts with getting the animal comfortable with touching it in the places you need to touch, lift, move, to get them ready for the harness. So one of the things, it may look like play, and it is play. This bird loves to play. But before I get into that, one thing I've done is I'm working on touching his toenails. Sometimes if he's sitting on my finger, I'll just touch like this, deliver the kisses as the reinforcer. Something else I've been doing is I grab his back while I kiss him, and then I will grab his back, bridge, and kiss and deliver the reinforcer. But something else I'm doing, it looks like play, is I'll grab him like this and I tip him upside down and flip him back up. That does look like play, but what I'm actually doing is getting his body ready for me to handle him to do all this harness training. And as far as play, I do want to mention a lot of young animals play. Animals learn. I was going to do a whole presentation on this. A lot of animals learn through play. They are learning how to run. They're learning how to use their paws, their legs, their wings. And one of the behavior issues that started developing, one of a couple that started developing with Noodle, and this is the importance in those little red flags, was he was sitting in front of a mirror all the time. And then I started seeing it like too much time sitting in front of the mirror. What is too much? He stopped engaging with me. He was flying to the bathroom, or he flies to the foyer where there's another mirror, and he sits in front of those mirrors all the time. Where is he? He's looking in the backyard where I'm going to put his aviary. it started becoming what I would call obsessive, which means he would not fly to me for the millet anymore. He didn't want the head scratches. He didn't want a lot of the reinforcers, because the reinforcer of him sitting in front of a mirror and staring at himself was a higher valued reinforcer than anything I had previously identified. So I just start experimenting with my environment, and I started doing I'm going to show you if, for the sake of looking dumb, but I started like peeking my head around the corner with him. The more I did that, and that was just me experimenting, the more I saw him looking more towards me. The rate of the behavior of him looking towards me started increasing. So I would keep hiding and looking around the corner. And then he started moving down the perch further away from his reflection and closer towards me. When I first started recall training him, I would recall him like this, because a lot of times when birds are starting to fly, they feel more comfortable landing on larger objects. So instead of calling him to me like that, I would call him to me like that. And then I start shaping. Now I'm doing this. And obviously, right there, when he was on his training perch, I am now fine tuning his landing skills. But back to the play, he started what I started seeing him doing was starting to come. Well, first he started to step up for me away from his reflection more and more. He started looking at me, then he started stepping up, and then I would offer him right back to his reflection if he wanted to. That's not what I wanted him to do, but I was gathering data. Do I have a strong enough valued reinforcer? I would ask if he wanted to go back. Once in a while he did, but most of the time he stayed on my hand. And when he stayed on my hand, I really upped the reinforcer, such as the size, which is the amount, could be the contact that I'm having with him. And then I started seeing the behavior of him flying out and away from the room he was in with his reflection and seeking me. So I need to make sure I am matching or beating those other reinforcers, because what I don't want is him. That's one of my concerns of birds with mirrors, is they can quickly turn into obsessive or abnormal behaviors, which I do not want. So now he seeks me out in every room that I'm in. I'm getting him flying to further areas away from the house where I'm out of sight, and I'm calling him with just my voice, and he has to come find me. It's a great occupier of time. He loves what he's doing right now, is sitting in the kitchen window, staring in the backyard. He spends a lot of time doing that. But I need to make sure that he's healthy, and we're really bumping up the foraging with him, getting him shaping the intensity and the time in which he's foraging. So with that, I want to say thanks. Today is his 1 year hatch day. I am his third home. He is a foster, and if you want to find more about the work that we're doing with him, also go over to our nonprofit, the Sam I Can Foundation. But with that being said, we have 2 upcoming workshops. Pay attention, we're getting ready to launch them and open up registration. Here are some of our online membership services. Here are some of our other services that we offer, such as the Day with the Trainer, which is a popular one. And if you're interested in volunteering, you can volunteer with us through our nonprofit, the Sam I Can Foundation. And that is exactly where you'll see some updates with Sam. And I want to say thank you, and I'll see you next week. Next week, I do believe we're going to start at 9 a.m. I'm going to be live streaming with Sylvia Kozerchuk. She is a professional dog trainer, and I do think we're going to talk about resource guarding. I will put out an email newsletter notifying you of that this week. So if you're not on our email newsletter list, you can message us, email us, and I'll make sure you're on there. Lisa asked, what about his last home? I don't know a lot about his last two homes. I know in one of the homes he was in, he was with another cockatiel. Hey, Gwen. He was with another cockatiel, and there was some kind of, I don't know if it was carpet cleaning or spraying the house for insects. The cockatiel he was with died due to that. And then he was, I'm pretty sure, moved to another home where the people didn't like the sound. Sylvia says, do you get him looking for food too? Yeah. If you could see his enclosure, it's full of foraging toys, which he's completely comfortable with. And when he's home with me, he's not always out. Even though he could be out, I make sure he's comfortable spending time in his enclosure and he's really occupied foraging. So, and there he goes again. Maybe he'll come over here. Nope, he just went by. I'm so happy to see him so empowered. And I will see you guys next Sunday morning at 9 a.m. with Sylvia Kozarchuk. All right, take care. If you have any questions, shoot me an email.